Sir Hillary, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Very good of you.
All right, wait a minute. I'll put the microphone more to you.
Thank you very much.
All right, that was your voice. Fine, coming over. You are a New Zealander, a real Kiwi, if I'm not mistaken. And,
Yes, that's quite right. I've always lived in New Zealand.
And from what town do you come, as a matter of fact?
I come from Auckland in the North Island.
Auckland, the biggest town.
That's right, yes.
What's the population?
About 300,000 people.
Good show. Now, let us get down to brass tacks. Generally, one says the first 100 years are the hardest, and you people certainly did some very, very hard work. Now, when the first 100 years are the hardest, I presume the last 100 yards climbing the Mount Everest will have been the hardest, right?
Well, I wouldn't entirely say that. Had a lot of work to do all the way up, and a lot of difficulties. But I suppose for me personally anyway, the last 100 yards were quite a problem. A lot of hard work.
And how was it with your mask, your oxygen mask? Is that the right expression?
Yes, the oxygen mask. Well, the oxygen, we were constantly having to keep in mind that we were using it up. It was a bit of a race against our oxygen suppliers. However, the fact that the oxygen worked very well enabled us to get to the top and down again.
Oh, yes, but it was a race with the oxygen.
Oh, yes, it was a race against our oxygen suppliers.
And how did your comrade make out in connection with that?
Our tensing went very well indeed. We both had much the same amount of efficiency from our oxygen sets. And when we actually got down to the South Col, which was the camp more or less out of trouble,
yes,
my oxygen just ran out about a quarter of an hour from the camp. So we just had enough and no more.
I can imagine what a sensation that must have been. Did you have lots of confidence in each other? You must have if you do that teamwork getting up together.
Yes, I think we had a good deal of confidence in each other. We'd climbed together a good deal and had a good deal of confidence in each other's abilities and techniques.
Tell me, so Hillary, I'm a mountain climber myself a bit, an amateur, you know. I like the mountains. I've been climbing some in Switzerland. And I've been even in my youth jumping over chasms and crevices and crevasses, as you say, and splits. And, well, is there everything snow up there? Are there huge plains of snow, or are there also glaciers and much ice, especially in the higher regions?
Well, most of the approach to Mount Everest from 16,000 feet upwards is over actual glaciers, and you're having to get across crevasses and dodge pinnacles of ice. And there are no great areas without any crevasses at all on them. All the time on the mountain you are working on a steep ice and snow slopes split by crevasses, and they are, of course, a constant problem.
Oh, yes. And did you have a lot of rope?
Well, we had quite a lot of rope, yes.
But you didn't hang yourself, no?
No. No, we, on the Lhotse ice face, which ranges from 22 to 26,000 feet, we actually fixed over 1,000 feet of rope on to use as handrails up a steep portion.
1,000 feet of rope?
Yes, that's right.
Wasn't that quite a weight?
It was quite a weight, and there was a lot of work entailed in putting it up.
And your comrade, the Sharper, is that right?
Sherpa.
The Sherpa, I beg your pardon, he also talked English.
Well, he talks a certain amount of English, and we talk a certain amount of Hindustani. So by mixing the two languages up, we really get on quite well.
We have a lot of listeners down there, or rather up there. You know, in Kathmandu, there was a Lieutenant Colonel Wall. Maybe you ever heard of him, but he's now coming down to lower region. He's now in Ceylon, and maybe also listening.
Oh, good.
So from Nepal, and talking about snow and ice, and crevices and glaciers, say, by the way, that terrible, horrible snowman or snow beast, have you seen it?
No, I'm afraid I haven't, actually, but I don't think any other European mountaineer who's been in the Himalayas has either, but the local people do believe in it very much so, and they think it's a pretty ghastly creature that if you see it, it'll kill you. But
have you seen tracks?
No, I haven't personally seen tracks, but I know many of my friends have. They're very distinctive sort of tracks. They're very large.
Yes.
And very deep, and obviously made by some creature, a fairly large creature.
Is that so?
Well, we don't know what it is yet, so it's an opportunity for somebody to find it.
There is still a mystery. It is still a mystery.
Yes, it's still a mystery. As a matter of fact, next year an expedition is going out to try and catch the abominable snowman.
Oh, the Abominable Snowman it's called, huh? Maybe I'm going to join you someday. Get myself a nice jacket. Thank you very much, Sir Hurley. Now, after having reached the highest mountain peak, how do you feel here in Holland, below sea level?
I'm finding it very pleasant here indeed. We've just been strolled today around some of the streets in Amsterdam, some of the old part of the city, and it's very attractive indeed. Quite a change from our newer country in New Zealand.
How do you like the many canals and old buildings?
That looks very good, very attractive.
Well, it's real fine you're on the Happy Station program today, and I'm sure that lots of Kiwis and lots of New Zealanders, as we jokingly call them now and then, are hearing you today. Let's see. I learned there is a great lot of interest here for your lecture here in Amsterdam tonight, and that is presumably because here being everything flat, Dutchmen are very interested in mountains. And I'm wishing you every kind of success tonight with a huge crowd in the Concertgebouw building when you are going to hold your lectures. How are you going to do that? Also with a film?
Well, I'm giving the lecture tonight with showing stills, colour stills, and talking at the same time, of course. When I first came over here to lecture, I was a little bit afraid because I thought I might have to speak in Dutch. But fortunately, everybody here seems to understand English.
Thank you.
So it makes it much easier for me. I'm only hoping that they'll be able to understand my New Zealand accent.
I'm quite sure people will have so much interest. If you speak a little slowly, I think everybody can have no difficulty in understanding you.
Well, that'll be a relief.
So, may I take this opportunity, Sir Hillary, to thank you once more for your kindness and indulgence, for having come to this microphone and spend your time, and I think you have to have a little 40 winks now before you're going on for the show, and I hope to be there too.
Good. Well, thank you very much for this opportunity of speaking over there. And if my parents and things happen to be listening in, I'd be very happy to send them a few words and wish them a very happy Christmas. And thank you, Eddie, for all this.
All right. Just concentrate once more. Write that mental postcard. Wish you were here. Think up of some friends who might be listening in. I'm sure you're catching them.
Oh, just to all my friends, particularly in the mountaineering world in New Zealand, I wish you were here with me, and I'm looking forward to getting back with you all.
All right. Lots of success. Thank you for the interesting little talk I had with you, Sir Hillary, and climb the highest mountains of success.
Thank you very much.